Here, we are trying to estimate the value at risk for a bank's loan book while using Gaussian Copula. If we assume the bank has 1 million worth of loans on its balance sheet, and given that the probability of default on these loans is this value here, and the correlation based on previous observations of the loan default is this value here, we can estimate the worst case scenario with 1 year time horizon at 99.9% level of confidence to estimate this value at risk here. So before I go any further, I just want to mention that these two values are not random values. I have a video showing how I estimated this probability of default and correlation based on historical data. We can use this worst case default rate to find the values at risk for the bank's loan book. And this is the value that will get our worst case default rate. So we take the normal cumulative probability of the norms inverse for the probabilities of default. We add the square root of norms inverse for the correlations, and we divide this top line by the square root of 1 minus the correlation. To get this value at risk here, we use the formula here. We simply multiply the loans by the worst case default rate, which we have estimated by this Gaussian Copula formula here, and we multiply it by the loss given default, which is suggested by the bank itself. And the final value, if you multiply these three, gives us the value at risk for the loan book. We can use the values that we have here to stress test the VaR and to see how the value at risk changes when we change the parameters probability of default and the correlation. So here I have estimated using the data table from what-if analysis that as the row or the correlation increases, the value at risk will also increase. And same for the probabilities default. As the probability of default increases, the value at risk will also increase. I have here a visual representation of the whole thing. We have the values for row here and the probabilities of default here. And we may notice that as the values increase, they will converge to the loss given default estimated earlier here. Well, actually not estimated, but suggested by the bank itself. So this concludes the presentation for the value at risk when using the Gaussian Copula formulas.